At 10, spotting a fake as health experts update their mask guidelines. A few simple ways to make sure you're getting the real deal. Plus, a call for help from the Madison School District. Why it says it may come down to volunteers to keep kids learning in person. News 3 Now at 10 starts right now. Well, good evening and thanks for having us in. All 72 counties in Wisconsin are still at the highest level of COVID-19 transmission. Let's take a look at the latest numbers from the Department of Health Services. You see the 7-day average in new cases at nearly 18,000. DHS says as a result of the new auto import process, they expect this COVID data to be temporarily elevated while backlogged cases are brought into the live system. The Boys and Girls Club of Dane County says it will be distributing about 170,000 high-quality N95 masks to hundreds of local organizations over the next few days. Last week, the club received about 200,000 masks from the state and has been handing them out to the community. CEO Michael Johnson says the process is going extremely well so far. Late last week, the CDC updated its mask guidelines to recommend that people wear the most protective mask you can that fits well and that you will wear consistently. The agency describes well-fitting respirators like N95 and KN95 masks as offering the highest level of protection. But with all the choices on where to buy the mask and which ones to buy, it can get confusing to determine if they are the real deal. Christina Laurie explains how to spot a fake.
Tight-fitting masks like N95s are designed to protect both the person wearing them and the people they come in contact with.
It has, actually, I think it has 7 layers, the 95 stands for it filters out 95% of small particles.
But if yours isn't real, you're probably walking around with a false sense of security. Counterfeit masks are currently the #1 COVID scam, reported to the Better Business Bureau.
Many are made in the U.S., but some are made in China and South Korea that still get on that list.
There are a few ways to tell if yours is fake. First, the packaging says FDA approved. Real N95s are approved by the National Institute for Occupational Safety and Health, not the FDA or CDC, and come with an approval number that starts with the letters TC. 2, there's no branding on the mask. That approval number, as well as the name of the company and type of mask, N95, KN95, or KF94, should be clearly visible. 3, it's labeled for children.
Using certified, surgical and/or procedural masks are still better than cloth masks.
There aren't any respiratory masks approved for kids here in the U.S., although you can find them in smaller sizes. And 4, the N95 has ear loops. Legitimate N95s have elastic bands that wrap around your head.
It's a very effective mask that really minimizes the amount of small particles that you would potentially breathe in.
Reporting in Madison, Christina Laurie, News 3 Now.
When it comes to where you can find them, pharmacies, grocery stores, and even Home Depot sell N95s. But many Madison area locations are selling out a few hours after the shipments come in. Your best bet may be ordering online for curbside pickup or through Amazon. You can find a handful of legitimate mask options linked in this story on channel3000.com. Getting your COVID test results is testing people's patience in Dane County. Many sites are extending their anticipated turnaround times due to the sheer number of people getting tested. Fitchburg Family Pharmacy says it's averaging an 80-hour wait time for test results. You know what? That's 3.5 days. Forward Pharmacy in McFarland says it's taking at least 3 days as well.
There have been times when testing was lighter, when we were getting our test results back in less than a day, which was awesome. But right now, the most recent test results have been coming back in 3 or more days.
Public Health reopened its COVID test site at the Alliant Energy Center last week. They use a company called Accelerated Labs to do its tests, aiming for a 48 to 72-hour turnaround time. Moderna is working on a single shot that covers both the flu and COVID. The pharmaceutical company's CEO says it should help address concerns some people have about getting 2 separate shots. Moderna isn't planning to have the vaccine ready until the fall of 2023, and even then, it will only be in some countries. One of America's top vacation destinations could soon require tourists to get boosted before they visit. Hawaii's governor says his office is strongly considering changing its definition of fully vaccinated. The governor says it may soon include a booster shot. He says travelers who are not boosted would have to isolate for 5 days once they arrive at their own expense. Getting a look at the weather now. It was a pretty nice day out starting today for the work week, but over the next few days, temperatures will be dropping again, prompting an alert day. Meteorologist Dana Fulton has a certified most accurate forecast from the backyard patio. Dana?
Of course, this afternoon with that sunshine coming through and just a light breeze turned out to be really comfortable. It's hard to have a case of the Monday blues when you have so much sun coming through. Highs just a little bit above average, close to 29 in Madison with our overnight lows in the low 20s. Now, our Doppler track is pretty quiet for us. We saw some light flurries earlier today, well to the north, but our attention is really shifting now to a cool down expected by the end of the week. Because of this, we do have an alert day in the forecast for Thursday and Thursday night. We'll start off the day well below zero. Afternoon high temperatures will be in the single digits with wind chills staying below zero throughout the day, and the same continues heading into Friday morning. But we'll take a closer look at that cool down and how long the cold temperatures will stay with us in just a few minutes. Brady.
Thank you, Dana. The murder trial of Chandler Halderson will resume in about 10 hours after taking the last week off after the defendant's positive COVID diagnosis. On Friday, the judge gave the all clear to resume tomorrow after Halderson's quarantine period had passed and everyone who was in close contact with him tested negative. A lot has happened in this trial already. If you need to get caught up, just go to channel3000.com for an in-depth review of the proceedings thus far. Well, testimony is expected to resume around 8:30 in the morning, and we will have all of the trial. It will be live streaming on all of our platforms all day, then a recap in the afternoon and the evening newscast. Today we take a moment to remember civil rights icon Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. This year would have marked his 93rd birthday. King was a Baptist minister and activist who became the leader of the civil rights movement through the power of speech and acts of nonviolent resistance. He won the Nobel Peace Prize in 1964 and was assassinated 4 years later. And for a 37th consecutive year, the city of Madison and Dane County is hosting its own day of observance. Tonight's event was a virtual one, but still featured a special keynote speaker, Ilyasa Shabazz. She was the daughter of Malcolm X and is an award-winning author, educator, and producer.
As a nation, we're enduring great challenges. We come together to create hope as we meander through a double pandemic. One began in 2019 with the coronavirus, and the other in 1492.
And a special shout out to News 3 Now's very own Tahlil Mohideen, serving as the event's MC tonight. Way to go. Well, in Milwaukee, the road bearing the name of Dr. King got a little bit longer today without any bulldozers or lengthy construction required. The road was previously named North Old World 3rd Street, right along the Milwaukee River. Downtown last year, the City Council unanimously voted in favor of extending King's name to the additional half-mile stretch of the road. And in Washington, D.C., voting rights activists are using MLK Day to demand action from Congress. A bill to reform the election process faces long odds on Capitol Hill. But as Skylar Henry reports, the president says the fight is far from over.
On this holiday marking his father's birthday, Martin Luther King III led a peace walk across Washington's Frederick Douglass Bridge. He called on Congress to pass stricter protections for voting rights.
If you can deliver an infrastructure bill for bridges, you can deliver voting rights for Americans. If you do not, there's no bridge in this nation that can hold the weight of that failure.
The bill would remove restrictions that Republicans say enhance election security. But with its passage in doubt, advocates say the nation is at a critical point.
We need to have protections at the polls and to make sure that we can get there safely.
The King family wants changes now, putting more pressure on Congress to pass sweeping voting rights reform to give more Americans access to the ballot and not allow Senate rules to stand in their way.
The unmitigated gall to hide behind cloture and the filibuster, two procedural hurdles. When black people turned the tide to get Joe Biden elected, it puts me beside myself.
Last Thursday, two moderate Senate Democrats, Joe Manchin and Kyrsten Sinema, threw their support behind the legislation, but they do not approve of changing Senate rules in order for it to pass. Its failure would be a stinging blow to the president, who said it's not enough to praise Dr. King on this holiday. It's time for action.
We must commit to his unfinished work, to deliver jobs and justice, to protect the sacred right to vote.
The Senate plans to debate the voting rights bill on Tuesday, and the president says whatever happens, he'll continue the fight. Skyler Henry, CBS News, Washington.
Speaking from the White House, Vice President Kamala Harris said the freedom to vote is under assault and said it's time for the Senate to do its job and pass the voting rights bill. Republican state lawmakers are pushing a plan that would lower the minimum age to legally carry a concealed weapon in Wisconsin. Currently, you need to be 21 before you can apply for a concealed carry permit. The GOP-backed bill would lower it to 18. The measure's sponsor says 18-year-olds have the right to vote or go to war, so they should also have the right to carry a concealed weapon. The Madison School District is calling for parents and community volunteers to help it fill a number of important positions within the district. According to this post, it's looking for volunteers to help serve in a number of roles, from classroom support to clerical support and supervising students during arrival, dismissal, lunch, and recess. The district spokesperson said those volunteers are critical to helping to keep schools open for students and also take extra responsibilities off the teachers.
We have been hovering at this threshold of critical staffing levels. And so anything that we can do to free up some of our teaching staff is certainly going to help. And so these volunteer positions are actually pretty important when we look at our ability to sustain remaining open.
If you or someone you know is interested in volunteering, we have more information on the available positions on channel3000.com. Still ahead tonight, it's costing a lot more to buy a home in Wisconsin. We've got the new numbers from the state's Realtors Association, plus incredible video showing the moment of a massive volcano explosion in the South Pacific. We have an update when we come back.
This growing newscast, News 3 Now at 10.
Crazy Lenny's winter event continues.
It's not over till 1/3 of our e-bikes are sold at cost. Restrictions. All bikes come with round tires, burger buns, not included. International banking laws, Pyre squares applicable. Okay, just get here before 1/3 of our bikes are sold at cost.
1/3 of all Lenny's e-bikes sold at cost.
You protected our rights, preserved our freedom. You may have even risked your life for us. Now, it's our turn to fight for you. Your local Wisconsin emergency, energy, and housing assistance providers, and the Keep Wisconsin Warm Cool Fund reward the service of our veterans with rental and energy support in their time of crisis. Apply today to get the fresh start you've earned.
From defunding the police to not prosecuting criminals, Democrat policies are disastrous for America. When I ran in 2016, I intended to serve a second term and go home. But today, our nation is on a very dangerous path. If you could help make America safer and stronger, would you walk away? I've decided I can't. I'll stand and fight for freedom. I'm Ron Johnson, and I approve this message because I love America and Wisconsin, just like you.
Madison Magazine Winter Restaurant Week is here. Participating restaurants will provide a 3-course dinner starting at $25, featuring wine and more. Dining with a choice. Don't miss Madison Magazine's Winter Restaurant Week 2022, starting January 23rd through the 28th. For participating restaurants, menus, and details, visit MadisonRestaurantWeek.com. Presenting sponsor, the Keep Wisconsin Warm Cool Fund. Supporting sponsor, E&J Gallo Winery.
Transform your home with Menard's huge selection of lighting. From modern to rustic, you're sure to find your style with over 7,000 lights. The elegant Josca collection is available in 2 finishes. The Josca 3-light island light is $98.99 on sale. Or add a rustic look to your bathroom with the B 3-light vanity light. The galvanized and whitewashed finish is the perfect combination. Grab one for $114.99 at Menard's.
Save big money at Menard's.
Crazy Lenny's winter event continues.
It's not over till 1/3 of our e-bikes are sold at cost. Restrictions. All bikes come with round tires, burger buns, not included. International banking laws, Pyre squares applicable. Okay, just get here before 1/3 of our bikes are sold at cost.
1/3 of all Lenny's e-bikes sold at cost.
During dry winter months, humidifiers can improve your home's air quality if you keep them clean. We'll give you the experts' top tips.
And we could be seeing some light flurries for our morning commutes. We'll have your forecast from 4:30 to 7 tomorrow morning.
You're watching News 3 Now at 10.
Welcome back. The Wisconsin Realtors Association says the median home price rose more than 7% over a 12-month period ending in November of 2021. According to the data, the median home price is now $240,000. The association also found housing affordability slipped. The median family income only rose an estimated 1% during that same time. The rich keep getting richer. Between March of 2020 and November 2021, billionaires saw their collective wealth jump from $8.6 trillion. That's according to a new report from Oxfam. The world's 10 richest men saw their collective wealth grow $1.3 billion a day during the pandemic. At the same time, the World Bank estimates more than 97 million people around the globe fell into extreme poverty. Millions of people across the eastern U.S. were digging out from heavy snow after a massive storm system left its mark. From Florida to Maine with tornadoes, freezing rain and snow areas of Ohio got the most snowfall, with more than 2 feet reported along parts of Lake Erie. In Buffalo, the New York area, it got 22 inches. Farther south, 20 inches were reported in parts of North Carolina. And we're seeing some pretty incredible video of a tornado from yesterday in Florida. The Collier County Sheriff's deputy in Naples, Florida, captured this video. And storms caused significant damage in parts of the Southwest in Florida over the weekend. A global effort is underway to help the South Pacific nation of Tonga after a massive volcanic eruption hit the region this weekend. The underwater explosion triggered a tsunami alert for the West Coast. CBS's Ian Lee reports.
Smoke from a devastating eruption shrouds the South Pacific in darkness and uncertainty. The explosion cut off communications from the nearby island nation of Tonga, making it difficult to know how many people were affected. Australia and New Zealand launched surveillance flights Monday to assess the damage.
This is subject to weather conditions and most particularly issues around the ash cloud.
Satellites captured the initial eruption, which sent a shockwave across the Pacific, felt as far away as Alaska. The boom from the blast was heard more than 1,100 miles away in New Zealand.
That is a force of nature that is incredible.
Grant Alexander lost his boat when tsunami waves crashed on shore.
They heard the noise and people were running down the piers, banging on their boats, telling them to get out.
The eruption triggered a tsunami that flooded Pacific coastlines from Japan to the U.S. Large waves hit parts of California as authorities issued and eventually lifted a tsunami alert for the West Coast. Ian Lee, CBS News.
COVID is complicating international aid efforts as Tonga has strict quarantine rules to keep the virus from spreading. So far, they've avoided any outbreaks of COVID-19, and authorities want to keep it that way. The first full moon of the year, known as the Wolf Moon, will appear tonight. The lunar event was named after wolves that were thought to howl more frequently this time of year. According to the Old Farmer's Almanac, the January full moon is also referred to as the Old Moon and the Ice Moon. I think that's pretty fitting.
I like Ice Moon. Yeah. Nobody asked my opinion when
we all wanted your opinion.
I voted for Ice Moon if we were doing a nice poll for that one. So right now we actually have a variably cloudy sky, or becoming variably cloudy by morning at least. So you might be able to go out there and see the full moon. Or earlier this evening, I know we did get a few pictures of the view coming through. Temperatures for tomorrow are going to be a little chilly outside. Pretty average for January, maybe even a little bit above average for January for tomorrow afternoon. Late in the day, though, we'll have the possibility for some flurries, maybe even a little freezing drizzle late afternoon and early evening. After that, it gets colder outside. We'll have falling temperatures during the day on Wednesday, and then bitterly cold temperatures expected for us on Thursday. Our Doppler track overall pretty quiet. Again, skies getting a little more cloud coverage for us heading into Tuesday morning. Temperatures in the upper teens for overnight lows. Afternoon highs tomorrow will land in the middle 30s with the possibility for some light flurries or light freezing drizzle to pass through in the late afternoon and evening. Wednesday, we hit our high temperature pretty early in the day. Around daybreak, temps will be in the mid-teens, and then through the afternoon, we drop down through the single digits. So it is going to be chilly outside for Wednesday afternoon. Wednesday night, we fall below zero, and that leads into our alert day for Thursday. Low temperatures Thursday morning and Thursday night will drop well below zero with wind chills in the 10 to 25 below zero range. Afternoon high temperatures on Thursday will be in the single digits, but wind chills will stay below zero through the day. Now, once we get through that, next week also looks pretty cold outside. We'll actually have several days where our overnight low temperatures will drop below zero. We're trending below average right now for much of the East Coast in our 6 to 10 day and in our 8 to 14 day outlook, which at this point pushes us all the way through the end of the month. So it does look like it's going to be a pretty cold end of January. It doesn't look like we have very many opportunities, though, to add on some more snow coming through, aside from a few small chances to see some flurries like tomorrow. Tomorrow will be in the mid-30s for afternoon highs. Cloudy sky, a little milder outside with the possibility for a few flurries or possibly, again, some freezing drizzle. Temperatures will fall during the day on Wednesday. Our alert day in the forecast on Thursday due to those overnight lows. Early in the day, we're below zero. Afternoon highs barely in the single digits, and then we fall below zero yet again heading into Friday morning. Friday in the teens for afternoon highs. Saturday and Sunday also pretty chilly. We'll have flurry chances on Saturday. Sunday in the teens for those afternoon highs, and that's where we'll stay as we look ahead to next week. Afternoon highs mid to low teens with overnight low temperatures trending close to zero. That means wind chills falling below zero for us almost every morning in that 10 to 20 below zero range.
And coming up in sports, Braelyn Allen honored again what the Badger freshman did for the first time since 2017. That's next on News 3 Now.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Aleve X. It's fast, powerful, long-lasting relief with a revolutionary rollerball design. Because with the right pain reliever, life opens up. Aleve it and see what's possible.
In winter, you add an extra layer when you head outside. This year, you can do the same thing inside, too. A COVID booster makes your protection stronger, even against Delta and Omicron. So if you're vaccinated and 12 or older, give yourself an extra layer of protection in crowded stores, restaurants, wherever. Right when you need it most.
There's no telling what's in store with Wisconsin Lottery scratch games. It's Candy Blast, the sweet new $3 game that's chock full of fun. Use your symbols to match and reveal an entire game. Win up to $30,000. Instant scratch games from the Wisconsin Lottery. Odds are you'll like them.
I want to have $1 million when I retire.
Oh, great goal.
So where do I start?
Well, first you set up automatic transfers into savings. That can add up pretty quickly.
For me, working on putting $1,000 into an emergency fund got me in a good saving habit.
Already on it.
Then put together a plan to get rid of debt and maximize your investments. You know, Summit helped me do.
Oh, that's great. I love how Summit gives people the knowledge and confidence to go after their goals. It's your money. Own it. Summit Credit Union.
Dear Jack Frost, people say you've got ice in your veins. But underneath it all, you're just a big old softie. Go ahead, try to nip at our toes. Thanks to our available Remote Connect, we'll be toasty and warm and ready to go. Warm wishes, Toyota Cars.
Every new Toyota comes with Toyota Care, a 2-year or 25,000-mile maintenance plan and roadside assistance. Find yours at Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Those brave men and women of our armed forces, generations of them. Why should today's burdens fall back onto them? They were there for us. Now let's be there for them. Your local Wisconsin energy providers and the Keep Wisconsin Warm Cool Fund are working together to deliver Wisconsin veterans in crisis heat, power, and help staying in their home. But they can't do it alone. Call to donate today.
Be prepared for winter weather. Trust the First Warn Weather Team to give you clear, timely, and accurate info, keeping you safe and ahead of the storms. Your certified most accurate team. First Warn Weather, only on News 3 Now.
Remember back before the college basketball season began, when the Badgers were actually picked to finish 10th in the Big Ten, well, that team has now cracked the top 10 in the AP Top 25. Wisconsin sits at number 8 in the country. It's their highest ranking since Week 7 of last season. The Badgers are currently on a 6-game win streak, and if they beat Northwestern tomorrow, they'll move into first place in the Big Ten standings. Bucks in Atlanta for an Eastern Conference rematch against the Hawks. Good news for Milwaukee. Chris Middleton was on fire. Cash spots up and splashes home the triple. Middleton finished with a game-high 34. Bucks led pretty much the entire way. That is until late in the fourth quarter. Trae Young just did what he does. 30 from him. Bucks fall 121 to 114. High school girls hoops, Cambridge hosting Edgerton in a big non-conference matchup, and the Tide had it going on in the first half. Abby Blum dials one up from deep to put Edgerton up double digits. She finished with 15. Cambridge, though, would fight back. Maya Holceder drops in the J, but the Tide ranked number 4 in D3 for a reason. Sylvia Fox crosses over and then takes it to the cup for 2. Edgerton gets the win, 63-34, the final. The stage is now set for the divisional round at Lambeau Field on Saturday night with a regular season rematch between the Packers and the 49ers. And that Week 3 game was a wild one. Green Bay trailed by 1 with 37 seconds left, and that was just too much time for Aaron Rodgers. He led the Packers in field goal range, and Mason Crosby won it with a 51-yard boot. Remember, Saturday's rematch is set for 7:15 on Fox. Braelyn Allen has been named a freshman All-American by the Football Writers Association of America. The Badger running back rushed for over 1,200 yards and 12 touchdowns while averaging 6.8 yards per carry in his first season at UW. Tyler Biadasz and Jonathan Taylor were the last Badgers to take home freshman All-American honors from the FWAA. And I know we already ran this at 6, but this is too good not to share again. Donna Kelsey might be the front runner for Mom of the Year. She's the mother of Chiefs tight end Travis Kelsey and Eagles center Jason Kelsey. Both of them had playoff games yesterday. The Eagles played in Tampa at noon. She was there. And then she flew to Kansas City and made it to Arrowhead Stadium, even though her flight was delayed. 2 games, nearly 1,300 miles traveled. One super mom. We're back after this.
Earth's gonna fly at the Alliant Energy Center. The Monsters of Destruction, February 4th and 5th at 7:30 and the 6th at 2 p.m. Top monster trucks including Laminator, War Wizard, and Crazy Train, along with the insane action of freestyle motocross. Every ticket includes a pit pass for the pit party with drivers and riders, plus go for a ride in a monster truck. Get tickets and details at monstersofdestruction.com. Get ripped up. The Monsters of Destruction, February 4th, 5th, and 6th.
Isn't it great how swinging through Culver's drive-thru marks the unofficial start to family time? How biting into a hot-off-the-grill Butterburger makes worries melt away? And how a fresh frozen custard concrete mixer puts a smile on your face every time? Here, a meal you didn't have to make is a meal made fresh for you. And being greeted with a smile, even beneath a mask, makes all the difference.
There's a reason we put so much care into our food. That reason is you. Welcome to Delicious.
On my travels across the country, I came across this house with water dripping from the ceiling. You never know when something like this will happen. So let the Geico Insurance Agency help you with homeowners insurance and protect yourself from things like fire, theft, or in this case, water damage. Now, if I had to guess, I'd say somewhere upstairs there's a broken pipe.
Geico. Save even more when you bundle home and car insurance at geico.com.
Step into the new when you drive a Chevy. It's time for a fresh approach and a new perspective. Meet new friends or reconnect with some old ones and find the Chevy that's right for you. Find new experiences, find new roads. Step into the new with a new Chevy. Very well qualified buyers can get 0% financing on most Chevy vehicles. Plus, current Chevy owners get an additional $750 bonus cash. Chevrolet, the #1 selling brand in Wisconsin.
Hello, I'm Gary Canoldi, inviting News 3 Now viewers to join me on an Alaska and Glacier Bay cruise August 9th through the 21st. We'll discover the cities of Anchorage and Fairbanks and enjoy a guided tour in Denali National Park. We'll also relax on a wonderful 4-night Holiday America Line cruise, including Glacier Bay National Park. Visit holidayvacations.com, keyword WISC, to learn more about this tour and to watch a travel show. Or call 888-557-1020 for a free brochure.
I'm a little old to count down the days, but my ski trip to Cascade Mountain with my cousin each year, so much fun. We used to pretend like we were flying. Now, we really do. My dad and my uncle like that we still ski free. But Noah and I, we just have fun. See you there.
Download the Channel 3000 First Warn Weather app today. You're watching News 3 Now at 10.
And finally tonight, NASA is crediting so-called citizen scientists who say they've helped with a huge discovery in space. This is an illustration of a new planet discovered when the agency says the scientists collaborated with professional astronomers. NASA says the planet is about the same size as Jupiter, but with about 3 times the mass. It sits about 379 light years from Earth. The citizen scientists were able to help NASA pin down the planet's size and mass to track it. What are we going to call this? Thoughts? I don't or do you need to think about this?
I am. I'm going to have to take a moment and put some thoughts on it, but I appreciate you asking my input this time instead of the ice moon situation. So,
you know, I try. We help each other.
For tomorrow, guys, temperatures will be in the mid-30s. We have a small flurry chance or light drizzle chance of the late afternoon and evening. Falling temperatures for us on Wednesday. That leads into a colder day on Thursday. High temperatures on Thursday will be in the single digits with wind chills below 0 through the day and overnight temperatures dropping well below 0. So it's going to be quite a cold day for us. We look ahead to the weekend, staying below average. Generally a pretty dry stretch. And for next week, we're still pretty cold outside. High temperatures mid to low teens, overnight lows near 0.
All right, thanks, Dana. Thanks, everyone, for spending this time with us. Have a wonderful evening.